All right, back now to our top story. Breaking this noon hour, several people are hurt after an explosion at a high-rise in downtown Houston. This is happening at the corner of Texas Avenue and Austin Street. We also have a live picture of the emergency room. We presume that is where some of the victims are being taken. According to the Houston Fire Department, this all started as an issue with a boiler sparking the blast just after 11 o'clock this morning. Several ambulances are at the scene itself. Presumably they will be taken here. We are looking at Memorial Hermann Hospital and its emergency room entrance there. We do have an eyewitness on the phone, Paul, I believe. Can you hear me, Paul?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Hey, Paul, thanks very much for joining us. Give us an idea, first of all, as to your vantage point. Where were you relative to this building? And is it correct it's a Holiday Inn Express?
Yes. So the building that's under construction is the Holiday Inn. I live at the Catalyst, so it's across the street. And my apartment is on the 17th floor, facing Dyken Park. So it's the next street behind. It's the next street. It's the next building over behind me.
Okay, I think I know where you are there. Yeah, across from Dyken Park. So 17th floor, you've got a pretty good vantage point. What did you see happen this morning?
Yeah, so just after 11 o'clock, I was watching TV, kind of just hanging out with my dog, and I heard a loud boom, which at first I thought it was something that fell off the building because, you know, we're used to construction noise that's been going on for months. It wasn't immediately at first that I knew it was an explosion until I walked outside, and I have a wraparound balcony. So I went to the side where I could see the building. And at that point, I could see, you know, glass raining down, and you know, parts of the building were kind of like flapping in the breeze. So that's when I knew there must have been some kind of explosion.
Okay. I don't know if you happen to have your television off, but we do have a live shot now of the damage there on the top floor of that Holiday Inn Express. And yeah, we can see what you're talking about when you say, you know, part of the structure sort of maybe flapping in the wind there, because across that top floor, wrapping around the corner, you can see the windows, the walls have been blown out there. Relative to your apartment, is this a few floors above or below you, your vantage point?
So if I believe it's an 18-story building, from what I've been told. So I'm on the 17th floor of the building right across the street. So I'm like almost parallel with where the explosion happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm in front of my TV. You see where it's hanging out. You can see where that's what I saw was like part of the building on both sides. And then when I went down to the street level, I got there early enough to where the workers were still kind of evacuated around the building. And a couple of the guys I talked to said that they were on the floor, and that they believe parts of the building, you know, the ceiling collapsed in on them. And so I asked, did anyone get hurt? And they're like, I don't know. We just ran out of there as fast as we could.
Wow, yeah. That we are hearing that several ambulances actually made the scene and that there were injuries and people were transported. Did you see any of that activity?
I did. I was downstairs on the street level already before the first responders even showed up. So yeah, I saw multiple ambulances, multiple fire trucks, you know, multiple emergency vehicles were all on in pursuit and were arriving within minutes of you know, the actual initial explosion.
All right, well, good to hear at least that the response is fast. And then from this live aerial shot, you can see the street has been closed off and you can see the fire trucks and the emergency vehicles. Paul, please stand by because we may want to come back to you, but we do have our reporter, Jason Miles, who is live now on the scene. He is ground level. Jason, what can you tell us?
Hey there, Sherman. Yeah, we just arrived on the scene a few moments ago and just heard from communications director with the fire department, Brent Taylor, who gave us kind of an update. And he said, again, earlier this morning, not that long ago, some sort of explosion on the very top or near the top of this building that is under construction, a Holiday Inn Express, I think, / Staybridge Suites, under construction, set to open, I think, as early as this month. You can see it's pretty much done, but at some point this morning, something happened, something exploded, debris fell to the ground here. Fortunately, no pedestrians or anyone on the street were injured, it appears. Obviously, this is downtown Houston. A lot of people may be in the tunnels this time of day rather than milling about outside. But again, this was a construction zone, so those injured are all construction workers. And Brent Taylor, in his words, several people transported to Memorial Hermann, all of those being construction workers. He didn't have an exact number of the people injured, whether it was more than 5, less than 5, or whatever. He said that information may be relayed at some point later. Meantime, they have taken the precaution to rope off this entire intersection at Texas and Austin Street. There's another hotel directly across the street, some government buildings as well, and a couple of apartment complexes. I think we heard from a young man who lives in the Catalyst, which I'm also standing in front of, kind of between the Catalyst and Caddy Corner to this hotel that is under construction, and again, the site of some sort of accident this morning involving an explosion. You can see on the top floor the windows blown out and the wall actually kind of billowing out to the side. We will continue to keep tabs on things here on the scene. For now, we'll send it back to you, Sherman.
All right, Jason, thanks very much. Yes, we had indeed been speaking to a tenant at the Catalyst, literally across the street and just about eye level to where that explosion happened. We will be back in just a moment.